We've touched on this point a few times of almost the stress about stress for health. And that's a really interesting way of thinking about it. It's like the stress of, oh, I need to work out today. The stress of, I need to have my supplements today. The stress of, I can't sleep. Why am I not sleeping? Right? Like we stress about the things that are good for us. How have you helped your patients? How have you coached them through that? How do you guide people through that? Because I think a lot of people go, well, then I'm just not going to do anything because at least then I'm not stressed. I don't think that's the wisdom in what you're saying. I don't think you're saying, well, yeah, it's better not to have any stress at all. How do you help people to engage and, use that stress in a healthy way? Or how do you guide patients through that stress?
I mean, I think every patient's different. And I think you have to sort of get to know the person a little bit and figure out what's the underlying issue. So I do think that there are a lot of people who, frankly, self-sabotage. Going back to kind of like where I was, I mean, my self-destructive behaviors weren't coming directly at the expense of my physical health. They were coming at the expense of my emotional health. But I actually think there are a lot of people who have very similar stories to mine, but their manifestation is it's coming at the expense of their physical health. They are sabotaging their ability. They are coming up with a million excuses why they can't eat well, they can't exercise, they can't do this, they can't do that. And so you have to be able to get to the root of the problem. And so there are many patients where we just think, look, you're not going to get better without trauma-based therapy. Like until you come up with a way to care enough about yourself to stop punishing yourself in this way, because I think people punish themselves in different ways. You could almost argue I used to punish myself by overdoing all of those healthy things. Like some of the exercise I was doing was actually a form of punishment. So on the surface, you'd say, boy, that guy's really healthy, but no, he wasn't. Another thing I always think about is when we're in the spirit of trying to build new habits, sometimes perfect is the enemy of good. Typically what I want is a win. And I think that what people just need is a win. And it doesn't have to be the biggest win. It just has to be a win. So if you're looking at a person for whom nothing is optimal, don't try to fix all things at once. Pick the one thing that you think they have the greatest odds of being able to make a difference on and just work on that and accept the fact that the other things will continue to be suboptimal. But you develop their confidence in that one thing. How about for 20 minutes a day, you do something active. You go and walk for 20 minutes a day. If you're talking about a person who's never lifted a finger, that would be a huge win. And you might do that before you get into the details of this type of training or that type of training, or we're going to tweak your nutrition and optimize your protein intake. I mean, that's just overwhelming, and you're probably just more likely to fail at everything and create kind of a compensatory negative reaction. But again, I don't think there's a paint by numbers approach. I think in the way we do it with patients, I think you just have to treat everybody individually. And by the way, when something's not working, you have to accept it and pivot and try something that is.
I think that's the key word, pivot.
Yeah.
That's the key word. Everyone, Peter Attia,